Hey guys, it is Info Girl. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure that you hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you do enjoy this kind of content. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Come on. If you have bad credit and if you're trying to rebuild, there's a Premier Bankcard that can give you a credit limit up to $1,000 if you're approved. You can also earn 1% cash back on eligible purchases, and they report your account every month to the major credit bureaus. But before you apply, there are definitely some things you need to know about this card, especially when we start talking about the fees and the cost of carrying it. So I'm going to break everything down for you. What kind of credit this card is designed for, the credit limit, how the credit limit increases work, the reward, the credit reporting, and whether I think this is actually worth getting if you're rebuilding your credit. So come on. Let's start with who I think this card makes the most sense for. Premier Bankcard is really targeting people with bad to fair credit. So we're not talking about a card where you need a 700 or a 750 credit score. Premier Bankcard MasterCard is under fair to bad credit. For this video, I would describe the realistic target as approximately 500, 650, while being clear that this is a working range rather than an official guaranteed cutoff. So if you're somewhere in the 500s or low 600s, this is the type of card that's actually designed for the credit situation you may be in. And that's something I like because I don't want to sit here recommending cards for excellent credit to somebody who's trying to rebuild their credit. Your credit score isn't the only thing that determines your approval, but if you're rebuilding and sitting somewhere around that range, you're at least looking at a product designed for that type of credit profile. Now let's get into the credit limit because I know that's what everybody wants to know. If you're approved, the credit limit can be up to $1,000. Notice I said up to $1,000. I'm not telling you that everybody who gets approved is getting $1,000. You could receive a lower starting limit based on your approval. And honestly, if you're rebuilding your credit, I wouldn't be too focused on whether I get 500, 700, or the full $1,000. I'm more interested in what I can turn that account into over time. And that brings me to something I really wanted to talk about with this card. Credit limit increases. Your account can be reviewed for a credit limit increase after you have had the card for 12 months and used it responsibly. So let's say I start with $500. I'm making my payments on time. I'm not consistently maxing out my card. I'm managing the account responsibly. After that first year, there's an opportunity to be considered for a higher limit. And this is where I'll make an important point. A credit limit increase isn't just exciting because you have more money available. That's actually the wrong way I want you looking at it. If my limit goes from $500 to $1,000, I don't suddenly need to double my spending. What I like is having more available credit while keeping my spending controlled. That's a much better way to use an increase when your goal is rebuilding your credit. Now, here's something I wasn't expecting from Premier Bankcard. You could earn 1% cash back on eligible purchases. Is 1% the greatest rewards rate in the world? No. We're not comparing this to somebody's Premier Rewards card. But remember who this card is designed for. If I'm rebuilding my credit anyway and I'm using this card for purchases I already planned on making, I'll take my 1% back. There's one important condition. Purchases generally need to remain eligible under the rewards terms. A delinquent account can make purchases in that billing cycle ineligible for reward. And obviously, stay on top of your payments because you don't want to lose your rewards because the account becomes delinquent. Now, this is probably the most important part of this entire card for somebody rebuilding. Your account is reported monthly to the major credit bureaus. That's what I need for a rebuilding card. I don't care how pretty the card is. I don't care about having another piece of plastic in my wallet. I need that positive payment history showing up on my credit report faithfully. Because that's the whole reason we're doing this. Premier reporting includes 3 major: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion on a monthly basis. So if I'm making my payments on time and managing the account responsibly, that positive payment history has the opportunity to work in my favor. But remember, the opposite is true as well. If you're late, that can hurt your credit score. This isn't a magic credit repair card. You still have to manage it correctly. Okay, now we've covered everything about this card so far, so here's what I need to say, and I need you all to pay attention. Premier Bankcard can be very expensive, and I don't want anybody applying just because they heard me say up to $1,000 in cash back. Premier products aimed at rebuilding credit can carry a program annual and or monthly fee service depending on the specific offer, and those costs can magically reduce the value of your card. Before I accept anything, I'm looking at what's my annual fee? Is there a monthly fee? Is there a program fee? What's my AP? And how much of my available credit will I actually have after any fees are charged? Because that determines whether this card makes sense for you or not. So here is where I land on the Premier Bank card. If I had bad credit and my options were extremely limited, I understand why somebody would consider it. You've got the potential for up to $1,000 in credit limit. You got that 1% cash back on eligible purchases. You got the possibility of being reviewed for a credit limit increase after 12 months of responsible use. And most importantly, for rebuilding, they're reporting your account every month to the major credit bureaus. Those are real positives. But those fees matter as well. If I could qualify for another rebuilding card that reports to all 3 credit bureaus and cost me less every year, I'm comparing that option before making my final decision. I don't want you all getting so excited about being approved that you forget to ask, how much is this card actually costing me? That's the main question here. Now, once I hear from somebody who actually has the Premier Bank card, what was your credit score when you got approved? What was your credit starting limit? Did you get the full $1,000? And if you had it longer than 12 months, did they increase your limits? Drop that information in the comments because that's going to help somebody who's watching this video trying to decide whether this card is right for them. And if you want me to keep reviewing credit cards specifically for people with bad or fair credit, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Bye!